We got a real firestorm of Web3 news for y'all as Solana set to open in real-life retail store and Web3 embassy in New York. We have Japan's government approves policy to drive Web3 adoption, and ex-Google CEO says he owns some crypto, but he's more bullish on Web3. And for our first story, money is dumping into the Web3 markets by the hundreds of millions as Immutable raises $500 million fund to support Web3 gaming and NFT projects. We have crypto lender Nexo spends out $150 million venture arm for Web3 investments and acquisitions. Web3 startup Aptos secures a $150 million funding round led by FTX Ventures. SoftBank leads $66 million round for Web3 infrastructure. And even the Words with Friends guy raises $46 million for Web3 game studio. Guys, if this is enough news for you to let you know that the space is booming, the tides are changing, and Web3 is a force to be reckoned with, then I don't know what else to tell you guys, because these venture capital and technology leaders are dumping money by the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars into this space because they see the trends. They see this unstoppable force coming their way, and it's one of those like, if you can't beat them, join them, and you know what? They're joining them by the hundreds of millions of dollars. So everyone strap in, tell your friends, hide your kids, hide your wives, because Web3 is coming in hot and you guys got to stake some claim to the territory. Solana set to open in real life retail store and Web3 embassy in New York. There's a little bit of a contradiction happening here. For example, Web3 is supposed to be a decentralized cloud-based entity, for lack of a better phrase. And the whole point of Web3 is to break the ties and shackles with the old way of doing things, which includes physical retail stores. What Solana has seen, though, is that the people who have the most money, aka baby boomers and Gen X, don't know about Web3. They are still stuck in the past, going to retail stores and interacting with Web 2 based stuff. And so Solana realized, like, hey, this retail store isn't going to last forever. We're probably going to have it open for 1 year, maybe 2 years tops. The point of the store is to educate the population. We have to meet people where they are. It's one of those, you got to take one step backwards in order to take 2 steps forwards kind of thing. You know, meet people where they are, set up a retail store, start educating the masses, get some more foot traffic, get in the news, start letting people know about the incredible stuff you're doing with the technology. And then once you've educated them, then you fold the store and go back to your cloud-based decentralized Web3 technology. But for the meantime, Solana made this level 3000 space brain genius move where they're like, hey, I know we can keep developing in the space as much as we want, but no one's going to find out about it unless we start opening up retail stores, going back and doing things the old antiquated way until we fully educated the population. And then we can close this store and go back through our Web3 paradise and dreams of the future. So Solana, you're freaking genius. Your team is brilliant. You keep making these monumental announcements every single month, even during these red days when we're in a bear market. We have Solana leading the charge. So thank you, Solana. I am a big bull on the technology. Keep going, Solana team. Japan's government approves policy to drive Web3 adoption. Japan has been a technology leader since long before, since as long as I can remember, honestly. You know, they're the best TVs, best cameras, best computers. We have the PlayStation, the Sony Walkman, Nintendo. It's all coming from Japan. They are technology leaders. They always have been and they always will be. And I'm so glad they are leading the charge on Web3 adoption. I hope that more G7 and G10 countries like Japan start to move forward. And I'm glad that Japan is blazing the trail for those other countries. So let's go, Japan. Namaste. I'm rooting for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being the thought and technology leader that you always have been. You are making me smile, and I love Japan. Namaste. I gotta keep saying that. I gotta learn some more Japanese words. That's what I gotta do. Microsoft is hiring a Web3 product manager as expansion into crypto accelerates. Here's what's really interesting about these Web3 jobs is there's no playbook. There's no like expectations. All Microsoft is doing is like, hey, we need to hire someone to figure this thing out for us and make us some money, baby, please, thank you. And this Web3 manager has to be so smart and they have to know the game so well that they know that they can figure out how to insert new pieces into this already established and running economy. And so we really got to support these Web3 product managers and technology leaders. They are taking on a really tough job right now. And so these are our fearless leaders, they're going into the frontier and blazing new trails for us, and so we're rooting for them. And also Microsoft, it's a company that, yeah, it's too big to fail, but if they don't make some moves in the Web3 space, they're going to get left behind, just like Blockbuster got left behind when Netflix started booming through. And so we're going to see more of this. I think every Fortune 10 and Fortune 100 company will have some kind of Web3 product manager and technology leader, and if they don't, they're going to get left behind. Ex-Google CEO says he owns some crypto, but he's more bullish on Web3. Firstly, I love that thought leaders with gravitas, who have a pedestal like the ex-CEO of Google, is coming out publicly rooting for crypto and Web3. This guy didn't have to do this. He's probably retired with billions of dollars, sitting on a yacht, eating grapes off of hookers. But instead, he's coming out and making public statements for the technology, and I love that. One thing, though, he's missing is that, sure, Web3 will do better than crypto because crypto is just a tiny little sliver within Web3. It's just the DeFi sector. There's so much more to Web3 than just crypto. We have the decentralized applications, we have blockchain and smart contracts, we have Web3 gaming, we have virtual reality and augmented reality with the metaverse. I mean, there's so much technology going on in Web3 that, of course, it's going to do better than crypto because crypto is just a small piece of the pie, and Web3, that's the thing we all really should be rooting for. That's the technology play here, and I'm so glad that ex-CEO of Google is saying the same stuff. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love you, dude. And also, maybe mat down your hair a little bit on the side, but you look good otherwise.